Welcome again to another video. I'm here together with you guys, and yes. We had to make another video because if the video was not made, I don't know what else I would have done. Honestly, um, yes, it has to be made. And this video specifically, the title is "The Beginning to the End." Okay, because it seemed like I got a lot of good reviews in some aspect. Um, I want this video to be understood, not in the way that it's told, but what it should be known as for what it is, right? Not what people want you to think it is, but what it is. All right, so today we are in a situation. And you know what that situation is? You know what that situation is? It's a revelation, right? Mind you, the word of our Father has not changed. It's always consistent and it's always the same, right? Because we're here and you guys are the heir of our Father's, promise. So act like it. Today we're gonna be in Revelation chapter 6. 6. Secte. I don't know if that's how you say it properly, and I'm not talking about seven in Spanish. But you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about once you understand what I just said. It don't matter though. It does not matter. It does not matter. We're in chapter 6. Chapter 6. Go grab your Bibles and let's get started. All right, let's get started. All right, and today is a really good chapter on the end. The end is not always a bad thing. So sometimes you just gotta accept the end, right? You never know, especially if you know if you've been doing good. You never know exactly when it should happen. But let's get started. I'll give you guys about 10 seconds to grab your biblioteca, right? And I thank you all for joining me today in the name of Yahushua, Yeshua, right? And him Elohim Adonai and Yahuwah, right? That we are here today gathered to learn more of the truth. So we don't have to worry about all the verdicts, right, of the judgment that will come, and those that think they're going to be hiding, they're not going to be hiding for too long. I need you to get yourself accorded to good and principles, right? Because you're gonna pass. Because a lot of you will pass before that time comes. So I need you to get accorded with Christ, like today, not yesterday, not tomorrow. Like yes, well, matter of fact, yes, yesterday. Like you should have been, but it's fine. You're still alive, so you have an opportunity if you haven't done anything that crossed those boundaries. I'm just going to say that off the rip. So please, this is just my little secret with you all. Okay. All right. Chapter 6. And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard, as it were, the noise of thunder, one of the four beasts saying, "Come and see." Mind you, this is John, right? We're talking about Mr. John, all right? John, the guy himself, all right? And this is like probably in the first chapter or something. It announces as John. So he was taken through a trance. So he was just like, yeah, I'm over here meditating, consecrating myself. And whoosh, I just happened to start being my body. I left my body, like, I don't know, and I went somewhere that basically was unfamiliar to me, but was always taught about, right? And then, of course, he did not scream because it's like you're around people that aren't 100% people and that look like beast in somewhat, and they have eyes on their wings. I don't think you have an option but to go and follow. Okay, so I'm pretty sure in the beginning they told him not to be afraid, or either the other option he already knew, but he just wasn't aware that it was gonna be like this, 100%, and it was a horrendous type of image. I'm not sure, but I do know one thing though. We're gonna continue in verse 2. And I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering into the conqueror. Right? And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, Come and see. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat there unto take peace from the earth. And that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. Ooh, sound like apocalypse to me. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, Come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse. So basically saying, Behold, a black horse, right? In somewhere. And he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hands. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. So we need to get into that topic, right? A penny and 3 measures of barley, meaning everything in this world has a price. Meaning it has a cost to basically a cause to an effect. So the cause to an effect was already placed. And what happened? It was paid for. That's what that second part say. Because it was paid for, neither do you need to defile it. So we defiled exactly what was already paid for. Mind you, I said apocalypse, all right? So take in consideration what I just said, all right? And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, Come and see. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death. And hell followed with him, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with sword and with hunger, and with death and with the beasts of the earth. And what was that? And when they say hell, they're not talking about dun 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 fire. Yes, of course there would be fire involved, but more so calamity, destruction. Okay, because if you have famine and you have yes, famine. Oh, my apologies, please forgive me. All right, if you have famine, right, there's also gonna be thirst involved in that as well. So all of those things are a requirement to famine. And what will come of it? Destruction, because either people are going to die or people are going to die. Meaning somebody going to kill to get, or they're going to do something that's horrendous, like on a maximum level to get, so they don't have to worry about it, but they're still going to do their worst to get. Okay? Verse 7. And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth. Matter of fact, no. Let's go back on that a little bit. Death is gonna be also like the word pestilent. However people pronounce it. Yes, it's going to be very important for you all to understand that those that think that you are in power, that you think that you're going to escape all of this thing, please don't think so, because there's a lot of things that we are going to need to recover after all of the the stupidity things that you guys have done on this earth, and you still continue to do, even though you're still forgiven to a certain extent. There's just no coming back. I'm sorry to say that there's a level of situations that you can do certain things to and with, right? And there's some things you just cannot, that you will not come back from. So please take heed to my words, because these are words of urgency. And yes, you're gonna need a lot of prayers. You're gonna need a lot of intercession with people that are connected. You're gonna need that. A lot of you that are here, that are with me, and I'm not, and for those that know who I was speaking about, I don't regard you. And for those that know who I'm speaking about, and it's touching in a very, very deep place in your heart and in your spirit, and it's just bothering that demon a little bit, right? I'm speaking directly to you. Okay? Because all of these things very much matter. It matters. It matters. And it matters so much because I love you. So I have to tell you that these things matter. And I wouldn't be here if I don't love you because my time is valuable, such as yours as well. We're both given time by our divine Father. Okay? Ali loves us both. So let's continue. All right, I was at the fourth seal, and I looked. This is verse 8. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse. Oh, no, 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 no. I was, yes. Yeah. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name set on him was Death, and hell followed him. And the power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. Right? And when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of God and for the testimony which they held, meaning us, the heirs. That's gonna go down. That's gonna be a ride or die. That's gonna be loyal to a man. That's gonna stand on our Father's business, regardless. Even if you considered a villain, listen, there are a lot of villains that are not really villains. Because have you ever really watched a sad story where when you hear the villain's background story as to why the villain does what he does, it's actually fair, like Captain Hook and Peter Pan, right? People don't really understand, but yeah. So we got to understand what these things are, right? And I'm not saying that to be one with darkness or anything like that. I'm just saying that certain things don't always seem as it should, because we're brought to understand certain aspect of reality. So when you don't really know good and you don't know the purpose of good, because you are more entangled with balance of the black and white, and you thinking that everything is just all white, or everything is all gray, right? You're going to be stuck on the idea of thinking that things are just going to be all good, like angels don't catch no breaks. No, they catch breaks. They watch, they have their moments, right? But they also worship Yahuwah every single day. Okay, let's continue. All right, where was I at? All right, verse 9 and then verse 10. And they cried for a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? And these are the ones that were faithful and that were holding the promise of Elohim Adonai, right? That was holding Eli's promise. And they were given white robes, right, to cover themselves, and should rest. And I'm just going to annotate this a little bit, summarize this a little bit. And they were told to wait, right? And because and basically, yes, they were the ones that died being loyal to the truth. They did not refuse the truth. They did not associate themselves with the world or the things of the world. And they fulfilled the will of Yahuwah, Yahweh, right? Verse 12. And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. Now I want you to take a reference clearly to you what I'm about to say. Please take note as much as you want, right? What happens when you put an extreme focus, right, of light, right, on your palm? What happens? It turns what? Bingo. So when you know what the moon is, you know exactly why it exists, right? So when you look at the moon, doesn't it look like something that aged up, like I'm not gonna say it, but that aged up, and it's just sitting there, just what's happening right now? You seeing the reflection of what? With crust, right? Okay. I'm just gonna leave it as that. All right. Verse 13. And the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her ultimately figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled up together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. So all of these things are going to bring calamity because of what? Also gravitational pull, and the wind is going to be moving in a certain way that is not going to be orchestrated naturally, or it's not going to be in the books of physics. It's not going to make any sense. All of these things are going to be unnatural. That's going to be causing natural phenomena from an unnatural process and an unnatural cause, right? So we have to be understanding of that. And I said, and we already read that the stars, right, are gonna be falling, and we already know that the stars are there, just are like there to shine, right? So they're our navigation unto where is what and what is what. And the kings of the earth, and the great man, and the rich man, and the chief captains, and the mighty man, and every bondman, and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. So there will be nowhere for you to hide against the wrath of Yahweh, Yahuwah Adonai, right? There would be nowhere for anyone to hide. It doesn't matter if you become the strongest person in the world. It doesn't matter if you have all the money in the world. Money is going to die. Money is going to be destroyed, and so is everything else that's going to be on this earth, because it will be turned to fire. Everything on the surface and below of this earth, even the water, will be turned to fire. Because why else would the water turn into blood? Why else would the water turn as if it was contaminated by mercury? What do you think happens with mercury when things get hot? Doesn't it turn into acid? I'm just saying. Let's I think I said a lot here, but catch on. All right. And said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of earth that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. Who is that? Isn't it Christ? Bringing all of this that's going to happen to this earth, into this world. A lot of us are not realizing that. And for the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be to stand? Meaning, who is going to be there to go against him, and who's going to be there for him? And it's all going to be revealed at the time when the end days are going to be, because it's now. All of these things are happening now. Now, before the great destruction, before our redemption, because before, matter of fact, let me get to this. The seventh seal is our resurrection, for those that don't know that. But um before we get resurrected, there's going to be a lot of destruction, meaning all of these calamities and all of these orchestrated prophecies are going to happen before we actually get called by Christ. All of these things are going to happen before we get called by Christ. So when people are going to see a lot of destruction, they're going to know that it's coming, because there's not going to be any other destruction but that. So, as much as I have to say, that'll be the last thing that I am to say. Thank you guys for joining me. Love to you, peace and prosperity and success